Well, we're finally back on board. Come and join us, guys. We're heading up to Reedham, where we're going to spend the night before heading further up, hoping to go to Brundall and maybe even Bramerton if we can get there. Join us for the ride and see how it goes. It was a choppy ride up with wind and rain, and it stayed like that most of the evening, so we just hunkered down, stayed on the boat and left the next morning, destination Church Fen. Are you still shouting at that duck? Are you?
It's him.
Welcome to Church Fen, a small peaceful mooring on the right hand side as you head upstream after you've gone through Brundall. Lovely spot, highly recommended.
Now, I haven't heard a cuckoo since I was a boy, so we're talking some 65 years ago. And out here on the Broads, they seem to be everywhere, on the southern Broads so far anyway.
This will probably come out a little bit shaky because it's not on a gimbal or anything, I'm just holding it by hand. I'm walking along the boardwalk from the river up towards Brundall Church. This boardwalk is, I don't know, a quarter of a mile long. Really nice. Alfie loves it, but I am not taking him this time because I'm going into the shop. When I get back, I'll put more details on about exactly where we are for you boaters out there who like little secluded places. Found an absolute gem of a mooring. Only 3, maybe 4 boats. Nothing here, no water, electricity or anything like that, so if you're self-sufficient it's brilliant. And yet 3/4 of a mile up the road you've got a co-op, a pub, a pizza place and a chemist, so an ideal little stopover. Catch up with you a bit more later. So, welcome to Brundall Church. Worth the climb up the hill from the river. Leaves you a little bit breathless, as you can probably tell. But what a sweet little church, and so different. Typical use of flint found in Norfolk. Some complete, some dressed. This is a beautiful church, so quiet, so peaceful, so calming. I left 2 candles to honour the firefighters that lost their lives in Bicester earlier this month. Somehow seemed fitting to do so, and a silent prayer.
So here we are then, Bramerton at last. A lovely common, mooring for 16, 19, 20 boats, some electric hookups, plenty of room for the children to play, and quiet, peaceful. Now we didn't get the best of the weather again, but that didn't stop us going exploring with Alfie, who really was fascinated by the molehills.
Just to confirm, it's not all blue skies and lovely reflections of clouds in the water on the Broads. Sometimes it can be pretty bleak, but there's still a kind of surreal beauty in this. You want to go for a walk? Yeah? Where's your harness? You find your harness? You going for a walk in the park? Want to go for a walk? Yeah? Okay, we'll go. Welcome to Bramerton Village Hall, which we just come across by accident. Alfie decided to turn right and here we are. From a previous life, I'm guessing that this building might date back to World War II or even World War One, when a huge plan was put into action to build militia camps all over the place to accommodate temporary airfields and things like that. After the war, several of them were taken down and moved elsewhere. This may be one of them, it may be not, but it's certainly got the shape of it. The only difference is it's not resting on brick pillars like the normal ones do. There's lots of little surprises here. You go through an opening and then you're faced with this, which is obviously children's playground, but just a huge open area. Certainly if it was down in Hertfordshire where we live, they'd be trying to build on this now, but not here. And then over here is the pond. I'm guessing, given the fact that we climbed a hill that felt like Mount Everest at times to get here, so we're well above the river level, that this must be a dew pond. Everywhere around now seems quite flat, and given the low water level and the fact that we've had no real rain for a couple of months now, yeah, I'll go with it's a dew pond. This is the path Alfie discovered that led us to these 2 finds. We're right at the top of Mill Hill, and the Met Office says today is going to be sunshine. Doesn't look like it to me. Looking over my shoulder, that little gap through the trees on the hill leads down to the River Yare, and it's easy to see when you're there why it's called the Yare Valley, because we really are quite high. You can do the sums, but it's steep. I don't know if this shows it well, but that's a house drive. and at the bottom of this steep hill it looks almost like an escape lane.
And just like that, we're back at Reedham. No overnight stay this time, we're just going to wait here for a few hours, time it right to cross Breydon Water and moor up at Yarmouth Yacht Station. We're aiming to get there, of course, at slack water. Time to walk Alfie though, and this Gospel Hall dates back in part to 1899 and has hosted services and community events during that time. Unfortunately, a combination of its deteriorating state and the lack of parking space has led to its demise. It was recently sold at auction for housing, although I believe this is only for one house. It's a shame that another piece of social history is being allowed to fade away. The non-stop mantra when crossing Breydon Water is to stay inside the navigation poles. And there's a few good reasons for doing this. Unless you have a depth sounder, you cannot see the shallows outside the poles. Even with a depth sounder, the depths change quickly and irregular. Chances are you'd run aground before you had a chance to react. It's not just silt below your hull. There's a myriad of timbers, piling, boat remains that will rip into a boat hull before you know it. If you're lucky enough to avoid this, then you'll certainly suck silt into the engine cooling system, creating a whole world of hurt. Then of course there's the embarrassment factor of being towed off the shallows, and maybe a hefty bill too, just to rub more salt into the wounds. It's simple advice: stay between the poles and you stay in the channel. You stay safe. A short walk along the shaded pathways from the mooring dumps you into the town centre without warning. The town centre can only be described as a direct attack on the senses from all directions, none in a particularly pleasant way. The non-stop cacophony of all manner and size of vehicles reflects on the faceless concrete buildings and gives a relentless assault on your hearing. The noxious exhaust fumes, caught on the constant swirling air currents, become trapped at street level, burning the back of your throat. It was here that my vision of Wroxham as a sleepy hollow town died on the pedestrian crowded pavements of commercial exploitation. If, however, retail therapy is your thing, then fill your boots. If you can't buy it here, then you're probably not trying hard enough. Grass snakes abound in Norfolk Broads, the wetlands giving them the natural habitat they love and thrive in. They're excellent hunters, especially on water where they look for frogs, toads, fish, anything else that they can track down. Grass snakes pose no threat to humans, they certainly don't bite and they're not venomous. They're only interested in the small things in the water and will probably disappear at a rapid rate of knots in the opposite direction if they sense you around.
Here we are, a lovely morning. It's just after 7 o'clock and we're on our way to have a look at Wroxham before it wakes up. Alfie decided it was time to get up anyway, as is his wont, usually at 7 o'clock. And now we're going to see what we can find. We're just going under one of two bridges in Wroxham. This is the easy one, this is the railway bridge. And then in a minute we'll show you the road bridge, which is medieval, has 6'6" clearance at high tide. Our boat is an air draft of 6 foot, but we can get under it carefully. If it's choppy or if it's a spring tide it might be a bit difficult. But we're not leaving till this afternoon, so the clearance will be somewhat greater. This is a novel little park over the river. Caravans, motorhomes. Access is a bit dodgy over that bridge. It's a bit steep, but they all seem to manage it. And that fifth wheel over there, oh, wrong way. That fifth wheel over there has been there a few days. Well, it's certainly been here since we've been here, so they managed. Had a really nice meal here last night. Lots of people to talk to. A really enjoyable 2.5 hours. Food very reasonable, £25 for both of us off the menu. Drinks, yeah, same as everywhere else. We're not big drinkers, so we don't know what you pay, but 2 lagers and 2 rum and cokes was about £20 as well. Probably the only place that I want to have a look at. Relived my childhood of a long time ago. And this is the infamous, or famous, whichever way you look at it, road bridge with the clearance of 6 foot, or 6'6". And then a plethora of day boats. Not the cheapest to hire out, but they certainly seem popular. We've seen no end of them over the last 48 hours. Well, it's definitely true what they say. Roy's seem to own just about everything round here. From food, clothing, and of course McDonald's. So what do I think of Wroxham? I think it's commercialised beyond belief. This is just one of Roy's car parks, and they just go on and on and on. Now yeah, it makes access brilliant for people to visit, but to be fair, the best views of Wroxham, the most enjoyable part of Wroxham, is from a boat. We're at Hoverton Viaduct mooring, and I have to say that for anybody with disabilities, access from there into the town is superb. This is a newly refurbished boardwalk, done in composite plastic rather than on wood now, and it really does make access easy and safe. Mel's had no problem negotiating any of this and the paths with a scooter, so if you're looking for somewhere with easy access, then yeah, it's worth a visit. Another Saturday morning, a very shaky video, and Alfie taking me on another undiscovered path. This time we're just outside Wroxham. Apparently this leads to the railway station, but I don't know. We'll find out when we get there, I'm sure. Welcome to Wroxham railway station.
We will return on a steam day to take in all the sights and sounds associated with running these magnificent vehicles, and probably hitch a ride as well.
Can't see.
7'4", 7'3".
Bring it round. That's it, perfect. Line it up. Don't oversteer. Don't oversteer. Let it just come back on its own. That's good. Perfect.
We're going to head back down the Bure now to Yarmouth, On the way we're going to spend a night at St Bennett's. We're also going to be looking for various watercraft and who knows what else, any oddities. If we can find them, we'll bring them to you. If you like what you see, please click the like button, that really helps us, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.